A most interesting 36 hours of weather that we've got coming up. Let's talk about all this first. Outside your house, it's probably raining at this point. If it hasn't, it will be shortly. So we've been watching this rain overspreading the area with the Max Track Doppler. Some of it comes down at a pretty good clip, wind aided as well. We'll look at that in a second also. What's also interesting, that little sharp line. Say hello to your cold front. It is coming. Ahead of it, boy, these winds are howling. In the last hour, the Lexington Bluegrass Airport, we've had a wind gust of 47 miles an hour. At this point, I'm hoping the wreaths are still up on the front of my house with wind like that. We've got other wind gusts 25 to 30, and it'll stay up like this for the next several hours. We have a wind advisory now running all the way from Moorhead and Flemingsburg down to London and continuing back to the west. So again, there's a lot of wind out there for us. And then we get to the winter part, and that'll take place for us starting tomorrow afternoon and evening. You notice none of central Kentucky really included in this, and with decent reason. We'll show you the snowfall amounts in a second. Warnings are up for eastern Kentucky, advisories just collaring it to the west, but it runs as far to the west as Somerset and Monticello. That's iffy on the criteria being met. But tonight the rain is arriving. Strong winds are here as well. Christmas Eve, rain will be changing to snow for most of us tomorrow morning. Some of eastern Kentucky, it may wait till tomorrow afternoon, but travel may very well be impacted, and we'll talk about the reasons why. Christmas, how about a top 10 cold one for us? Throw some snow flurries in there too. So problems develop as the day progresses tomorrow as the rain changes to snow. So you've got the obvious things there, and that'll be happening from west to east as the morning into the early afternoon unfolds. Temperatures will drop quickly tomorrow. That can lead to flash freezes. So any water that may have been left on bridges, even if there's not a lot of snow, we could see that freeze up, and there could be some problems with that. And then as the afternoon into the evening continues, snow may become a bigger problem, especially in eastern Kentucky, where the snowfall amounts do look to be higher. And as you look here, you can see easily east and northeast are where the heaviest of the snows are going to be. As we come in for you, I-75 is a decent boundary for a lot of this. In fact, when you look to the west of I-75, fractions of an inch. Some folks maybe pick up a couple, but that's iffy. East of I-75, the snowfall amounts increase, and through that first ridge of hills, 1 to 3, and then east of that 2 to 4, and some 3 to 6 amounts may even sneak in there as well. So let's break this down. This is taking some of the data and trying to massage a little bit, but it gives you an idea. Fractions of an inch around the bluegrass. That looks to be a pretty general amount. Half inch to around an inch is what we'll end up with by the time this is all done. Down toward the lakes, maybe a little swath where we get a little more, and that's on some of the knobs and some of the small hills you see from Rockcastle, Pulaski down into Wayne counties. But again, it's a half inch to around an inch. But it's southeastern Kentucky where we see the biggest totals. In fact, we can see some 4 and 5 amounts as you head up into the higher terrain. And finally in the east, same idea. Lesser amounts as you come west, but you get into that first ridge of hills. Now we're an inch, maybe 2. And the cold coming for Christmas. Top 10 cold. In fact, if we get to the 23, that ties us for the 8th coldest Christmas. And watch this. Watch the cold just blast in and watch the temperatures plummet. That is really interesting, and that is just a blast of Arctic air. Not only that, the wind chills that'll be coming in. By the time we roll through tomorrow afternoon into the evening, your wind chills are in the teens. Be ready for that if you're headed to a church service tomorrow night. By Christmas morning, how about wind chills that are in the low single digits as that front will just come on through, and as it does so, it'll change the rain to snow as the jet stream plunges all the way from the North Pole. Fayette Mall, we'll be out there tomorrow from 11 to 1, ringing the bell one more time for the Salvation Army. Oh, by the way, Santa has started his practice runs up there at the North Pole. He takes off shortly, and as he does so, works his way around the world. We are looking at a warm evening. The rain is here, but eventually down to the mid-30s. Temperatures falling during the day. Tomorrow into the low and mid-20s. Rain changes to snow. Snow flurries around Christmas Day. Highs in the 20s. We do warm up this weekend.